Welcome back to Bazillions, the channel where we dive deep into passive income topics and so much more. Today, our deep dive is into Amazon KDP. There are a ton of YouTubers talking about how to make an insane amount of money. Is it possible? Well, we're going to find out. So listening to these various YouTubers over this topic, they talk about low, medium, and high content books. Low content are things like journals. Medium content books are things such as word search, Sudoku, crossword puzzles, and coloring books. And of course, high content books are actual books with text, novels, books like Harry Potter, fiction, nonfiction. That being said, high content books are going to take some considerable amount of time. I like word searches, so I thought that would be a fun one to do. I had to come up with an idea. I started asking ChatGPT for some ideas. I wanted a more epic word search book. The more I thought about it, I thought everyone likes music, and I also figured more older people did word searches, so I thought, let me do a word search on music. Everyone loves music. I switched over to Spotify for some ideas. Eventually, I stumbled upon the Billboard Hot 100 year-end singles on Wikipedia. This was the fodder I needed to make a puzzle. I then figured I'd do 30 years worth of music, from 1970 to 1999. I figured I would do 5 puzzles per year, 3 for the songs, with each puzzle having 30 words, and 2 for the artists, also each with 30 words, or 30 artist names. Next, I needed to make the puzzle, so I needed a tool for that. A lot of YouTube videos talk about BookBolt. So I signed up for BookBolt, started to dive into it, only to find that it had some limitations, such as not being able to format the tiny little header at the top of the page, and it only allows 20 words per puzzle. And if you recall, I was planning on 30 words per puzzle. I started looking for other options and ran across an Excel macro called Word Search Pro. It was on an old Blogspot site and listed for $9.99 with a PayPal payment. It looked like it would do what I wanted. I was a little skeptical, but hey, it was $10 via PayPal, and I already lost $15 to $20 with BookBolt. Although BookBolt could still work if I only did 20 words per puzzle, so BookBolt was my plan B. Great news, I was emailed the Excel macro by the author within a few hours after buying it. I opened it up and realized it would do just fine. In fact, it had a lot of options. I had some emails back and forth with the author, and he was very responsive and helpful. I started adding all of my words by copying and pasting into Excel, and I would occasionally run into a little hiccup like it couldn't add a word or something like that. But all in all, this Excel macro was 10 times better than BookBolt, and for less money. After all, it was a one-time purchase for half the monthly price of BookBolt. It took me about 2 hours to copy and paste artists and songs into Excel and clean up weird non-Roman characters, and about another 3 to 4 hours to generate the puzzles. Oh, and I saw some R. Kelly songs. And while he did actually earn the top 100 a few times in America, we tend to want to wipe history over bad things. So just to keep my book politically correct, I removed his name and songs. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in the comments on whether you think I should or shouldn't have done that. My take is he's 1000% guilty and no question of the terrible things he did. But I also believe a spade is a spade, and we can't change history for better or for worse. Money and power really does change people, sometimes for the worse, as we've seen in recent years with how many people who've been caught doing indecent things. I mean, seriously, who puts a button under their desk to lock a door? I would have rather have left him in there for the factual historical part and the idea that it could be a conversation piece, like, hey, that's R. Kelly is in here. But seriously, let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Next up is to upload it to Amazon KDP. Now, to be honest, it took me a few tries to get the uploads to work, but once you figure it out, it's very straightforward. And this is my finished puzzle. I think it looks really good. Pretty awesome for my first book ever. Now for the bad news. The book has been published and live on Amazon for 2 months with no sales. Now that's partially my fault too. I didn't do any marketing and I have no reviews. but I also wanted to see and prove to myself and others that this isn't just as easy as uploading a book. It was to prove that without marketing, your book truly gets lost in the sea of millions of books. So it's time to start marketing it. Want to buy my book? This QR code will take you to the page to buy it now. Now, during this process, I was thinking that it would have been great if the Excel macro could generate all of my puzzles at once. If that were the case, rather than 3 to 4 hours, I think it would have just been a few minutes. And if you know anything about me, I'm always looking for ways to streamline a process. After all, a good software developer looks for ways to make processes more efficient. I toyed around with it and created some specs, gave it to a couple of my in-house developers, and I'm happy to say that today we have launched a product called Book Brewery that can make word searches, crossword puzzles, mazes, Sudokus, journals, and coloring books, and it can make them fast. You can supply your own words for word searches and your own words and clues for crossword puzzles, but we have a puzzle wizard that will help you with these if you prefer. Mazes and Sudokus are simply a 30-second process for a 100-page book, and journals are just a few seconds. Coloring books take about 3 to 4 minutes, but you have to upload your own images. I will be putting up another video on ways you can come up with coloring book images. I split time between Europe and South America, and a friend of mine in Bogota has a daughter named Olivia, who I would always see creating drawings. I asked him if she would be interested in making money from those drawings and be a beta tester for our site, and she gladly agreed. She really did a great job helping us perfect the site, and that being said, she's already sold 38 of her books in just a couple of weeks, with no reviews. I had one of my project managers work with Olivia and film her using our software. Here's that video.
Hi, I'm Olivia Grande, and I want to tell you a story. When I was a child, I draw all the time like this, and my father have a friend who teach me how to easily my draws. So now I'm so happy because I can make my coloring books so easy and fast. And the best part is you can find all my books in Amazon and wherever you are. So let's buy this, and remember, this is the best part to coloring your life.
Hi, I'm Natalia, one of the project managers here at Book Brewery. I had the opportunity to be the one filming Olivia for this video. Olivia is going to walk us through how she creates a book, and I will be the one doing the voiceover.
Okay, we are on the main page and you can see all of Olivia's projects. She clicks on List to see the project covers, and she clicks on Create New Project and names it Coloring Book for Boys. Here you can see the title. And right now, she selects the image for her project, which is Boys Adventure. While this technically is the book cover, this is only used for organizing the project. You don't have to do it, but it will make it much more organized once you have a lot of books you've created. For the actual book cover, you do that here. But you only need to do this if you are creating the book to give away. If you're uploading it to Amazon KDP, they require that you upload the cover and interior separately. So, now she's going to create a coloring book. You can put whatever font, size, bold, italic, and sun on down to the titles and subtitles. Everything is customizable. And finally, she goes to board. Her book is 8.5 by 8.5 square, for example. She sets the scale to 0.9, and she selects all of her book images and drags them in to upload. She has one duplicate, so she can remove it by clicking on it. If everything is good, you can click Generate. In seconds, she has her images. So now you can go to Page Order and look at all your images. As you can see, her first image is labeled 11:11. She can click Edit and change the title, font stylings, everything in real time. She configures her book size to 8.5 by 8.5 with a bleed, and she saves the project. Next, you can see she can drag to reorder her pages. Here she clicks on New Page to create a free form text and image page. Clicking Preview lets her see what her change looks like. Each one of these blocks is a section for organizing content. Here, she adds a copyright page that also asks for reviews. This page shows up at the front of the book. Here, she adds another page, and as you can see, she can change the opacity and the scale. Next up, she can add a QR code with a link to review her book. She can choose Link Shortener, which will use our book review URL, making it simple to link to. By using our link shortener, the URL can be changed at any time in the future and as many times as you'd like. Now, she clicks Generate PDF, and the system lets her know that it is going to take about 3.5 minutes to generate. Once it has been generated, she can click Download and voila! You see the finished book. If you see something you don't like, you can always go back and fix it. Of course, you can create word searches, crossword puzzles, sudokus, mazes, and journals as well. And we have a puzzle wizard that can actually help you with generating words for word searches and both words and clues for crossword puzzles. I hope this video helps you envision the power of how easy it is to create your publishing empire. Until next time.
So I hope you enjoyed that video with Olivia, and also we're also publishing our own books, trying to get to 100, and we've already sold some of the initial ones we've created. Amazon lets you publish 3 books per day. Our software makes it possible to get 3 books per day finished. In a couple of months, I will do a follow-up video to this, sharing what we've accomplished with our own 100+ books, and Olivia has agreed to share her results as well. So hopefully, I'll have awesome news. If you would like to try Book Brewery out, I have a link in the description. We currently are offering a huge discount of up to 50% off on a yearly membership, so you can create your publishing empire. I do think that Amazon KDP has potential for decent passive income if you market your books good. That's why it's my plan for 100 books. In fact, I have an upcoming video on passive income, and my take on passive income is it is somewhat a myth, or at least a myth based on what many people think passive income is. Passive income in most people's mind is making money that they make for doing nothing, and there's very few instances where that is possible. Most passive income concepts require periodic work to keep them going, and even then, they will eventually die off. There are some passive income concepts that are better than others. I think for little to no investment, Amazon KDP is one of my top picks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, I'd truly appreciate it if you'd hit the like and subscribe and bell notifications. It really does help a small channel like mine out. I put a lot of time in creating these, and less than 2% of my viewers are actually subscribed to my channel. If you find yourself liking a channel, whether it's mine or someone else's, you really are doing us a huge favor when you subscribe, and it costs you nothing. I hope this video revealed how easy it is to publish a book and gave you some ideas. Thanks for watching. Hasta la vista.